Hit.
Good morning, Dr. Ron Benson. It's Friday, February the 25th or 24th, 6th. I lost track of my days, but I'm super excited because I'm headed out for 4 days of skiing. As you know, that's one of my favorite passions. Last week we talked about the dangers of ibuprofen, and I had so many comments and questions, I thought I'd go a little bit deeper. So I've got about 20 more research articles, and Diane, I just told her we're going to go over these in about 20 minutes. But I've already done that. So non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, that's like ibuprofen, and it includes aspirin. A lot of the questions I had was, well, what about aspirin? Because I've been told to take the baby aspirin every day because that helps with heart problems, right? So that's a great question. That's where I want to start. Aspirin for heart increases your breast cancer risk 80%. It has no effect whatsoever on heart attack and deaths from heart problems, no effect whatsoever. But what it does is it increases your risk of bleeding severely. So your risk of intracranial hemorrhage, that's a bleed in your brain, a stroke, goes up huge, and your risk of dying from gastrointestinal bleeding or a bleeding ulcer goes up huge as well. So aspirin has no protective whatsoever, no protection for any heart problems, but it does increase your risk overall for many other things, including death from stroke. When we get back to the NSAIDs, again, including aspirin, your risk of heart attack and death go through the roof, even short term. I mentioned how many people take those. It's astounding that nearly 40% of the people in America take those on a regular basis. That's at least once a week, 3 to 5 times a week has the highest risk. And even short term, you take one pill, your risk of heart attack the whole next week is higher. We increase risk of stroke and death. That's not just the aspirin we talked about, that's the ibuprofen. The worst for the heart was Vioxx. That's why they pulled Vioxx off the market. It was a prescription. Vioxx killed twice as many people as Vietnam in half the time. Now here's where it gets nasty. The drug company that made that, Merck, in their own science, they knew it was going to cause heart attacks, and it showed up, and it was still approved by FDA because any prescription drug has a risk and benefit. They'll all kill you, but if it kills more people than they expected, then it's dangerous and they pull it off the market. That's every drug. So right now we're in COVID. We haven't really done any long-term safety testing on this COVID vaccination. We won't know for a year, 5 years, 10 years what the long-term effects are. So it's being tested as we're taking it. Ibuprofen is the drug that increased the risk of stroke the most, even more than aspirin. They also increase the risk of atrial fibrillation, which is probably one of the biggest factors increasing heart attack and death. But here's the one that men need to look out for. It increases your risk of erectile dysfunction through the roof. Almost 50% increased risk of erectile dysfunction. This group studied was 45 to 69 years of age. And what was, again, crazy to me, 47.4% of that group are regular users of ibuprofen. And then down at the bottom, we got Tylenol. You'll see the Tylenol commercials, you'll hear the Tylenol commercials. They always say it's the #1 drug recommended for back pain. Well, remember, what started the whole opioid crisis is when they realized that Vioxx and ibuprofen, those drugs were causing people to die. And so they go, well, opioids appear to be safer. Well, opioids aren't safer because you get addicted, you know, just goes down the road. Opioids are way worse. But that's what started the whole opioid thing. And so they're going, well, Tylenol maybe is better for back pain because Tylenol is not an anti-inflammatory drug. There is no drug that has a closer therapeutic dose and fatal. It'll kill you. There's no drug with closer to the dose you can take and you'll die. And here's what the studies show. Tylenol does absolutely nothing for back pain. You can take a sugar pill, you can take a Tylenol, it does the same for your back pain. So that was the update from last week. Thank you for your questions. Oh, thank you. Daniel's just pointing at me that I've got 2 more articles. The first one is natural anti-inflammatory agents for pain relief. If you want to get a copy of this article, call or email the office because it talks about the things you can do to decrease pain that don't need these drugs. So different vitamins, supplements, and herbs. But the one I want to talk about, this one again dates back to the beginning of the opioid crisis, 2003. This was published in the journal Spine. They looked at 2 drugs, Celebrex and Vioxx, compared that to acupuncture, compared that to chiropractic adjustments for people that were disabled due to their back pain. More people got hurt by the drugs than helped. Chiropractic helped 5 times more than the drugs, but the most important thing in this whole study was 47% of the people that saw the chiropractor, their overall health improved 47%. So chiropractic was better than for pain than the acupuncture or the drugs. More people got worse on the drugs than got better. This is why. And the people under the chiropractic care not only had their disability improved, but their general health improved 47%. So thank you. Talk to you soon.